So I guess starting off, first game at the helm of the school. Can you just take me through the initial emotions for you, what it's like to lead Homestead in such a big game?
Well, you're talking about this game, this rivalry.
Yes.
Ah, well, it's kind of like it's really like it's a lot of emotions involved. Now, you got to understand too that this is going to be the first rivalry game that I am the head coach, leading this team to, against South Dade and Homestead themselves. Now, I think that since 1979, Homestead and South Dade has had this rivalry, and I think that for the most part, South Dade has had the upper hand. But in the last 5 years, Homestead has got the upper hand, with the exception of last year, which to me was like it was just a debacle. But anyway, we understand that we got to go in there and we have a lot at stake. I think that in the end, it could take a turn for the good or the bad for either team. I hope it's the better for us as far as trying to get a victory out there. But you asked me how the emotions are. It's just a lot of things running through my head, just like you said. I'm preparing for a lot of things before we get ready to get started tomorrow. I mean, like pep rallies, pregame meals, all kind of stuff. Kids with equipment issues, stuff like that. So yeah, it's a lot of emotions and things going in my head with this first year as a head coach with this rivalry. Yeah.
And what's like, you talk about the emotions of the game, what it means, and just going through things going through your head that, this night before. What would
hmm
you say is the biggest piece of advice a mentor has given you, that you look to take forward, not just today, but through the rest of the season?
Well, I have many mentors, and I speak to them often. Um, But it's like, night, this is just another one of those big games that you've coached in, You got to take one play at a time, one day at a time, try to talk to the kids, make every play your championship play and move on. I think that, my biggest thing is like we can't get too high. You know what I'm saying? I know it sounds like a cliche. We can't get too high. If we score and we do something real good, we can't get too high. And if we do something bad, of course, we can't get too low. We got to stay even keeled throughout. And actually, that's been part of my mantra going in as a coach. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure you stay even, and stay close enough to win the game. And then, hopefully you can pull it out at the end. But yeah, that would be the advice. Take one play at a time. Make sure you don't get too high, you don't get too low, and make sure that you understand that, a game can change on any play, as far as the momentum is concerned.
No, of course, right. It's so important to stay locked in and just, again, like you said, not get too high, not get too low, and just focus on the moment and just
hmm
continue to find those improvements. And can you take me through a little bit of your coaching journey, however long it's been, and maybe a couple highlights for you, that you feel like it brought you at the helm here at Homestead?
Well, see, if I go through my whole, if I go through my whole entire resume, it's going to take a long time. But, I have a big, strong Pop Warner program with the Palmetto Raiders, and that's where it started at. In 1996, I started coaching in the Palmetto Raiders, and which is the program, Pop Warner program, in which I played in. And I just wanted to give back. And I didn't start coaching high school. Many people don't know until 2017. Although a lot of kids that I've mentored and tutored, have gone on to play, of course, thousands have played high school football, hundreds have been in college that I had something to do with, and I have a few that are in the NFL right now. Now, you asked me about my journey. Now, South Dade won one state championship. They had one state championship in football, and ironically, like five or six of those key players played for me in Pop Warner right before they went to South Dade, and I felt that I was a part of that state championship because they were key players on that team, like the Tyree Brady's and Johnny Hankersons, Mitch Senexon, some other kids that I just knew off of him that was on my team. And anyway, when I coached at the Palmetto Raiders, and then I coached all those years, all these different players. Uh, I also, decided I wanted to go to high school. So 2017, I was hired at Southridge. I started coaching JV and also on the varsity, and eventually ended up being the head coach at Southridge by default. I became the interim head coach after the head coach, was relieved of duties. And then after that, I went on to be the head coach at South Miami Senior High School. Right before the pandemic hit, I had some good years there, coached some good kids there, and then I decided to move on to ironically come over here to Homestead and assist some of the guys that I coached with at South Ridge, which were on the staff here at Homestead. But things happen, and everybody went their separate ways. My coaching journey has brought me to become the head coach at Homestead. Now, you also have to understand too. Um, when I came to Homestead, I was just a position coach, which is what I wanted. I had no idea that I was become the head coach, but it fell into my lap. I told Larry Bluestein the same thing. You know who Larry Bluestein is, right? So I told him the same thing, that it kind of fell in my lap, and I felt that I had to take the helm and keep these kids on the right track and stay here. You know what I'm saying? Had I not taken it, this program probably would be not non-existent, but it wouldn't be where it's at right now.
Yeah, no, I can totally respect that. And like, to especially as a high school coach, it's important, to carry learning lessons each step of the way, try and better the
Mhm.
kids, set them up for success, not just in football, but just in life going
Mhm.
forward. And I think it's really cool the places you've been. And I was actually talking with Manny, who set up the call, and I was looking at the notes about your experience with Pop Warner football,
Mhm.
and I think that's so valuable because you can really help form these kids again, not just into
Mhm.
football players, but better people at such a young age.
Mhm.
So if you can do it at that age,
Yes.
as you work with the older kids, it can be a little easier.
Definitely. You know what's interesting about all that? When I coached at Southbridge in 2017, excuse my dog.
You're good. You're good.
Amazon truck out there. Hold on a second. I'm trying to get him back. Come on. Oh my God. Let me go another room. Anyway, in 2017, what was interesting is that when I coached at South Ridge, and I became a position coach at South Ridge, and I took over the JV, some of the kids on the varsity team that had won state the year before, they were all on my Pop Warner team. They were all once part of my. It was like 20 of them were part of my
Okay.
Pop Warner team, which is one of the reasons why I was hired at South Ridge, to become part of that program. So it was like full circle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
No.
and, and, and
100%.
some of those kids, it's like interesting. It's like I know them like 80 to 90% of their lives. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I had
Right.
something to do with them. Like those kids, they the same truck, that 2006 truck that I'm driving right now. A lot of those kids rode in that truck. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that, like, yeah, it's really intriguing, and I really take pride in that. I mean, that's going to be part of my leg. That's what I want to be part of my legacy. That I had formulated these relationships with these kids. And a lasting bond on them, and hopefully they get something out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, of course, of course. I mean, it's always bigger than just ourselves, right? I mean, it's cool to grow individually, especially as a coach, like you said. But when you can really see the success of your other guys and really help them, grow
Hmm.
into something bigger,
Yeah.
that's what it's about. And you mentioned a couple guys in the NFL. Who were those
Hmm.
guys that you coached up?
Well, I had Deion Bush on my team. Matter of fact, I had Deion Bush, Jamal Carter. I'm not sure if you're familiar with any of them. Well,
I'm a Bears fan. I know Deion Bush.
oh, okay, yeah. Deion's won two Super Bowls with Kansas City now. So,
Yeah.
yeah, Deion. I had Deion Bush. I had Jamal Carter. Jamal is like he's in the USFL right now, but he was on Atlanta and as part of the Titans drafted him, I believe.
Okay.
But Deion and Jamal actually played on the same team in '08. Was it 2000? Yeah, 2008 when we went to nationals that year. Yeah, and I mean, like, Tyree, not Tyree Brady. Golly, just Stephen Tyreek Stevenson. He was with me at South Ridge.
Again, I'm a
Uh,
Bears fan. I know exactly who
oh,
that
okay, so
is.
yeah, yeah, Tyreek. Yeah, those kids, like they really like you know. I had a few more. I just can't rattle them off right now because my head's not really there right now.
No,
But there
you got other things to
was
focus on, right?
it was kind of it's a few of them that's out there. You know what I'm saying? So,
No, of
but yeah,
course, of
yeah, that
course.
yeah, exactly. So,
No, I think
but
that's. Mhm.
go ahead.
Um, again, you mentioned South Dade, coming off a strong win last week. What do you
Oh,
see in
Leonard
their?
Hanker, Leonard, Leonard, not Hankerson. Leonard Taylor. Leonard Taylor. Leonard. Okay, but go ahead, man. Go ahead, ask
Oh
me a
no,
question.
you're good. You're
Go ahead,
good.
go ahead.
Um,
Yeah, Leonard
so you
Taylor
know,
was my kid too that played with me. But go ahead.
gotcha, gotcha. So looking at South Dade, right? They're coming off a strong win already. Have played in that game. So what do you see in their team, and how do you prepare to match up against them? What's something maybe on each side of the ball you're looking to exploit?
Okay, see, you're actually what I see. I'm not sure if you know the backstory of South Dade and Homestead as far as the
I know the
in this.
turnover of the coaches a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what happened with the turnover of the coaches? The head coach was here at Homestead, the program, which is why I came to Homestead to coach with him. You know, that's why I left South Miami to coach with him. And you know, for whatever reason, you know, he had some issues and stuff with what's going on with admin and stuff like that. You know how that goes with
A
work and
hundred
stuff like
percent.
that.
Yeah, Coach Pat,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, no, not Coach Pat. It wasn't Coach Pat.
Oh,
Um,
apologies.
no. You know, Coach Thornton was the head coach. I came over to coach with Coach Thornton, Ronnie Thornton.
Okay. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. But no, but Coach Pat too, because we all coached together at Southridge. All of us, we were all on that staff at
Hmm.
Southridge. You know, so my point is that you know, for whatever reason, you know, they chose to go a different path, and once they went a different path, you know what I'm saying? Some of the kids, you know, followed them over there. So 11 to be exact. And a lot of those kids were our starters prior. It were in the spring. So having said that, you know, it was kind of tough to just try to you know to rebuild on one side of the ball because most of those kids went over with the coach who was the defensive coach. So you know, so it's kind of hard to build the defensive side of the ball over again within 3 or 4 months and try you know and try to be competitive. But we have done it. We are going to do it. You're going to ask me what side of the ball we're going to try to exploit. We're going to try to exploit all both sides of the ball and special teams also. Those kids that went over there to South Day, they're familiar with what we do. You know what I'm saying? But you know, we have a strong belief that you know you got to stop it. You got to stop what we're doing. We're not going to do much. We're going to do pretty much the same thing. You know, and you got to just stop what we're doing. If you stop what we're doing, you got a good chance of winning. If not, we have a good chance of winning. So, you know, at one particular, you can't ask a coach what side of the ball you want to exploit. You try to exploit all three areas: the offense, the defense, and the special teams. But yeah, we really lost a lot, man. We lost a lot, man. When before in the before the spring hit, we played against Monarch our first round in playoffs, right? And after we lost to Monarch, we had a coach that went and found another job at another school, okay, and we lost what? We lost 10 starters at that point. They followed him over there.
Wow.
I'm not going to go into who it was and what. I'm just telling you, we lost 10 stars. Now, keep in mind though, that was the senior year for like 14 of our kids that played on our team. So we lost 14 starters, and then we lost 10 starters to go at another program with that particular coach. You know,
Wow.
it wasn't hard feelings, nothing. But you know, if you have a relationship with kids, you know they're gonna follow you. So we lost 10 starters. And then I came up, and I started recruiting some more kids, trying to get some more kids to buy in. We did. We played the spring together, and then you know the powers that be didn't match up, and then you know for some reason a couple of coaches left the South Day, and those 11 that we recruited, they went over there. So I mean, you do the math. We lost quite a bit of kids. You know what I'm saying? We
Of
lost quite a
course. I
bit of
mean, yeah,
kids.
when they leave and then you add up seniors, it can
Yeah,
really
yeah,
force you guys into a rebuild. So, you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
take me through again because we're talking a lot of the defensive turnover. So, you know, with the ball, first off, are you guys looking to be more of a 50-50 team? Are we looking a little more air raid, you know, play action game, running the ball? Where does your
Well,
offense thrive the best?
let me tell you something. If you know anything about Coach Knight and his history, I'm a running guru. I like to run the ball because if you can run the ball effectively, you can do anything on the field. So, you know, I mean, there is no secret. I don't even care if you tell the whole world. Everybody knows Coach Knight's going to run the ball. That's what we plan on doing. We plan on running the ball to set up the pass. You know what I mean? You know, and it is. It's not a secret at all. I just think that you can control the clock and control the ball, and as long as you don't have turnovers, you're fine. You know, you'll keep yourself in any game if you have a decent defense, you have good special teams, and you control the clock. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like I guess like Eric Spoelstra says with Miami Heat, you just muddy up the game. You know what I'm saying? You try to muddy up the game,
Yeah, yeah.
and you just try to you know you stay there until the bitter end. When you get to the bitter end, hey, it's 50-50. Let's go. Unless you're already on top by quite a bit. You know what I mean?
Oh no, I totally understand, and
Yeah,
you know,
I'm not an air raid coach. Although when you're in the 7-on-7 season, that's all you're doing is throwing the ball,
Yes,
and
yes.
that's where everybody's leaning towards with the 7-on-7 and stuff like that. We do that to keep the kids' interest, to try to
Hmm.
keep them with our program. But I'm not throwing that ball 60 times a game. That's not gonna happen. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
no, of
saying?
course.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
And I'm also, so funny enough, I moved to Florida back in May of 2024, graduating college. I also announced professional soccer down here.
Oh, okay.
Um, and I'm actually getting a little, used to the high school sports scene. I'm actually a basketball referee in Broward County.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so I kind of have a vibe there, and I'm getting the football vibe. So it's good. It's good to know that you guys are run based for sure. Now defensively, where do you feel they pose a threat offensively, and how do you plan to attack that?
Okay, so um, I, I, I feel that offensively they pose a threat. They got a couple little scat backs that can run. Uh, I think that's where they pose a threat because they got some speed back there. I don't know their exact names because they weren't over there with us prior to, but they have a number 2 and a number 9. They're pretty tough and they're pretty good on special teams as well. Um, um, the offensive line that they have, let me see, one, two, three of them from that was with me in the spring, and that was with us prior last year were on our team. So, I guess I know their tendencies. I'm going to try to exploit that. If you ask about exploiting something, I'm going to try to exploit that on defense because I know their tendencies and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
yeah, we're going to try to stop the run first because I really think I want to force them to pass because the quarterback, he's not young. He's not young, but he's a first year starter here. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
at that program, as a matter of fact, that quarterback was actually in our camp on our 7-on-7, and then he
Oh, get
decided he.
out!
No, no, man, I'm telling you, man. I know most of these kids over there by name, so I'm just telling you, most of
Yeah,
those kids they left us and they went. And look, this makes the rivalry even more bitter. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
these
I know
kids,
it. Yeah.
these kids, they know each other. They played Pop Warner together or youth football together, and then we were all most of us went on 7-on-7s together, and then they decided to disperse and go their separate ways and stuff like that. But yeah, I plan on shutting down their run because I know how effective a run can affect an offense as far as their passing game, and I
Mhm.
want to make that young man beat us in the air.
I
If
love
he
it.
can beat us in the air, they deserve it. You know what I'm saying? If he can beat
Mhm.
us in the air, they deserve
No, great stuff, Coach. Great stuff. And for you, who are a couple key players for you that you feel like can bring you guys to victory when it's all said and done?
it. Well, um, when you say a couple, I have more than a couple,
That's totally fine.
but and the thing with that is, though, boss, to be very honest with you, I just didn't want to leave out some of my seniors and stuff like that. So, the first one is Jacob Villa, Jacob Villa. He's number 12. He's a senior.
Yeah,
He's a
I got
quarterback.
him.
Okay. He comes from Everglades. He came from Everglades. Prior to that, he was at Somerset of Homestead. He lefty quarterback. He kind of reminds me of Tua for real. I mean, like the build and everything. Yeah, I'm serious. Like the build, the accuracy, and everything.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
not not a super explosive arm, but he could get it there,
It's
and
the
he's very
placement.
smart. Yeah, 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 yeah. And so, but he knows the offense in and out. He's very smart. Uh, Also, we have a running back, William Williams. We call him Dub, like for W. We call him Dub.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dub. He comes from actually, he comes from Columbus by way of South Ridge. He was actually on South Ridge the last 3 4 years. He was in Columbus in the spring, and it wasn't a good fit there. And then we were blessed to get him. He's number 4. He's a senior, and he comes in pretty strong, pretty good kid. Um, the next one is the wide receiver Jordan Robinson, number 1. He's a senior. He comes from Everglades as well, but he was actually in our camp last year and early last year, and then the numbers didn't match up. Because we had like Cortez Mills and all these different
Yeah.
all these different receivers there, and he knew he wasn't going to get any playing time, so he decided to go to Palm Glades. So he was at Palm Glades, and then he came back over to us to play. Now he's a senior. He's pretty tough. He's pretty tough. He wears the number 1 jersey. Jameer McCall, he's a straight athlete. No matter where you put him, he's going to make something. We call him Pee Wee. We call him Pee Wee. Don't forget Pee Wee.
Pee
He's
Wee,
number
I won't
2.
forget him.
Pee Wee. So he's a junior. He's number two. Jameer McCall, Jahmir McCall, McCall. I mean, slot receiver, he, option quarterback, DB, and he's really tiny, is which is why we call him Pee Wee. But very, very, very explosive. Our cornerback on the defensive side. I've been telling you all offense guys, so I'm going to give you a defense side of the ball. We got a kid named Trent Spell. He's been one of us since this is his. He's going to be a junior. He's going to be a junior. He comes from Wisconsin, but he was with us last year on our JV team. He did pretty well, really well, really well. Got good height, good side, good hips. You know what I'm saying? I mean, plays technically sound. Good kid. He's gonna be somebody to watch. You know, in the future. I told him that he might be one of the best corners to lead this program. You know, if he keeps his work ethic up, because
Oh
he's really
wow,
good. A good support system. You know what I'm saying? You know Leroy Butler, right?
Leroy Butler. I don't know the name.
Okay, Leroy Butler, he's a Hall of Famer. He played for Green Bay. Green Bay. He played for Florida State. He actually came to our locker room the other day, and we had a rain delay with the Palmetto High School Monday. We ended up not playing that game, but anyway, he came and he spoke to the kids. But he's like related to Trent. To Trent, you know, this family is really really close. So I just
Gotcha.
thought I'll throw that little nugget in there. But anyway, moving right along, I got like three more. So running back linebacker Jaden Williams. He wears the number 26, like Saquon Barkley and Sean Taylor. He plays on both sides of the ball. He likes to hit
Love
and he
it.
likes to move. You know what I'm saying? Good kid. He came from Broward County. He actually played for Plantation. He was a younger kid that played for
Oh,
Plantation.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, played for Plantation. He moved down here with his father who lives in Florida City, and then he came over to us. We were blessed with him. Good kid, good kid. And the next running back up and comer, Jermaine Green Jr., number 9, sophomore. Uh, this kid, if he keeps his head screwed on right, he's going to be a stud. Very strong, strong upper body, strong lower body. I've never seen one guy tackle him one on one. I just haven't seen it. You know, I just haven't seen it. Very tough, good speed, good, great vision, good cutback ability. I mean, just great hips, everything, you know. And the last one is also a sophomore. His name is Jeff Tavius Lyons. He's number 8. Uh, quick as a cat. You know what I'm saying? More quicker than fast. Quick as a cat. Just hit in and out of his breaks. He's at 100 miles an hour before you could blink. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
100%.
yeah, yeah. You might beat him in 100 meters, but you ain't gonna beat him from here to the 10. You know what I'm saying?
I'd
So
like to bet on him beating me in the 100-meter race, coach.
yeah.
This Florida Heat, I'm a Chicago kid, and this Florida Heat gets to me. So,
Yeah, but yeah, those are the kids that I'm gonna look out for. I know. I'm glad I'm talking to you, and I'm not on live. I hope I'm not on live radio. Anyway, I'm glad I'm talking to you because I don't want parents on. Coach, why you didn't mention this and that and this and that? Like because you're gonna leave out somebody. But those kids
100%.
right,
Okay.
those kids right now, they're gonna pretty much highlight the game tomorrow. You know what I mean?
No, coach, I totally got you. And it's tough because like you want to highlight everybody. You see it in big speeches. Everyone's like, I don't want to leave names out. But no, that obviously just gives me a lot of context what to look for where the ball's going. And then a
Yes.
couple more questions here for you, super
Uh-huh.
quick. Who are your offensive and defensive coordinators this year?
I'm the offensive coordinator.
Okay, gotcha.
But I'm the offensive coordinator. But my offensive line coach, his name is Rolly Puentes. He won't be there. He has a family emergency. But we actually co-OC together. I call it co-OC because he really is my eyes and ears of what's going on with the coverages and letting us know what's going on. And these formations, what we need to do as far as our primary, secondary reads and our hot reads and stuff like that. So it's myself and Rolly Puentes. Defensive coordinator is George Calendar. He has a program. You might want to look him up on IG called No Fly Zone. He actually tutors kids on defensive backs on footwork, and hip placement, arm placement, and stuff like that. Really good guy. He works in the building. Both of those guys work in the building at Homestead. I'm so blessed to have them. They both work in the ESC department at Homestead. So we talk all day, every day. You know how that goes. We see each other in the hallways. We talk, and we talk nothing but football. But yeah, they're in the building. Those two are pretty much on the defense and the offensive side of the ball.
Gotcha. And then one
Mhm.
last question for you. Will anybody be unavailable for you guys?
Uh, as far as I sent you the roster, right?
Yes, yes. That's going to be the everyone there's fit.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out because we change numbers a lot because we have so many kids. We have like 100 kids out there now. And, I mean come out, which was a blessing. So
Yeah.
we're gonna have a great JU. But I think on the roster, if you see, I think you see a kid named Marquess Mitchell.
Okay.
He won't be there. He separated his shoulder.
Ooh.
You might see he separated his shoulder Wednesday. It was put back in place, but he has like 3 more weeks to go. You might also see on the roster a kid named Lons Gainer.
Okay.
He was number 11. Somebody else is going to be wearing that jersey, but we played Key West, went up to Key West. He picked up a fumble, uh, ran down to the 10, ran out of gas, got yanked down, and tweaked his PCL knee, so he's going to be out for a few weeks. We have another kid out there his name is Jamar Morris. He's actually a backup quarterback, a third string quarterback. He's not going to play. I'm not sure if he's on that roster. If he's not, he doesn't have a number because he's been out for a while. He's just coming back from the shoulder injury. Trying to figure out who else. There's a kid on the roster named Jay Marvey. That's Jaemarvi. Jay Marvey. What's Jay Marvey's last name? Jay Marvey. Let me see. Hold on a second. I know it. I just actually talked to that kid. Jay Marvey. Hold on one second. Don't hang up on me.
No, you're good. You're good.
Jay Marvey Joseph. Yeah, he's not. He had a freak accident. Coach, he know what he did? Like we went to Key West and we were getting on the bus, and you're not gonna believe this. We're getting on the bus. He felt something sting him or something on his arm. We uh, we didn't think nothing of it. We didn't think nothing of it. Got back from Key West like 1:30 in the morning. Got back home. His mom was saying, like he couldn't sleep, stuff. His arm started swelling up, and they had to take him to the emergency room. Man.
Oh my God.
A spider bit him.
No
And
way.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like the craziest thing I ever heard, bro.
Wow.
A spider bit him, and he actually had to go into surgery because they had to. He it swole up. It got really, really bad infected. They had to release all the gooey stuff out of there and treat
Wee.
him with IV and the IV antibiotics and man, you couldn't even write this in a script, bro. I'm telling you,
Oh my
like and
gosh.
yes, and he just actually came back Monday. I don't know what number he had because I have so many kids. He was 40 something, but he won't be wearing that number. His name is
Okay.
J. Marvy Joseph. He won't be there, and think I think that's about it. Oh no, he's gonna play. He's gonna play. But I was gonna say another kid, but he's gonna play. But yeah, those kids right there, though, you won't really see them. And I guess I'm gonna have a revised. I no, I'm not guessing. I will. I have a revised roster for whoever needs it for the game tomorrow because we're playing musical chairs with the numbers. Uh, we got like 60 kids on the varsity. We can only dress 55.
Okay. Yeah, if you just
So
email that over to Manny, and you know what I can
yeah,
do? I can actually text you my email,
uh-huh.
and then
I just emailed him the roster, but I gotta resend it because I'm gonna make changes. But go ahead.
okay, I'll just send you my email and we'll go from there.
All right, yeah, yeah. Send me your email, and then I'll in the morning I'll get on that, and then we'll do that. Let me ask you something. These questions that you're asking me, it's in relation to your broadcast for tomorrow, correct?
Yes, yes, of
Okay,
course. Yeah,
okay,
because
okay.
this is actually gonna be my first Florida high school football broadcast, so super pumped. And usually, like what I do for these coaches calls is I just try to get a feel
Uh-huh.
for what you see for your team, how you see the other team, how everything's just gonna relate overall, and develop those storylines on the broadcast. So I'm not just talking about the X's and O's.
Right. Yeah, man. Look. I'm gonna tell you something. This this rivalry goes back a long way. But I don't know if you know this. A lot of people don't know this. People that live down here don't even know this. But Lucy Street, they call it Battle of Lucy Street, right?
Yes.
Lucy Street, Southwest 8th Street. It divides Florida City, which is on the south side, and Homestead, which is on the north. And they got a nickname for it. They call it the Twin Cities because they're like, okay, I could throw a rock over here and I could be in Florida City. I could throw a rock over there and be in Homestead. So this rivalry, bro, it divides homes, man, on this time of year. You know what I'm saying? It's like these people are they got betting odds and giving points and all kind of stuff like that. And people, I want to say it's a healthy rivalry, but I can't confirm that. You know what I'm saying? It's a
Mhm.
lot of stuff going on right now. And with the social media, it's not like it used to be, man. There was no social media back in the day.
It's
Now
promoted a lot more.
yeah, it's promoted. and a lot of people are, they don't want to be embarrassed. A whole bunch of stuff is going on, to be honest with you. So, but like I said, man, it's going to be a very intense. I guess, and I was telling my coaches, I said, I guess when the ball is kicked off, okay, everything will settle down and we'll be playing football, because what's going on now is like a whole bunch of noise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I tell my kids, look, talking has never won a football game. Never.
No.
Noise has never won a football game. You know what I'm saying? Execution and discipline, that's what wins football games. So make sure you understand that. That's all I've been preaching the whole week. Execution and discipline. That's what wins football games. So, but yeah, bro, that's what I had. I'm praying that because I'm not a violent guy or anything like that, right? But I just pray that it's a healthy rivalry tomorrow. It's not nothing crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because anything can happen, and you can throw the records out the door. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
I told the guy from 305 Sports, because they were advertising it as we're 0-1 and they're 1-0. I said, no, we haven't finished the game. We played 7 minutes of one game, and it's been postponed. So we're not 0 nothing. We're 0-0. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
I've
saying?
I've got you guys as this is your real first game. I'm not counting
Right.
that previous one. I mean, 7 minutes doesn't tell anything, and you could even look at the record all the way back. I mean, eh, I'm a sports fan, just like a lot of people are, and
Exactly. Exactly.
it literally changes not just from game to game, but things can change in between the games.
E-
The record doesn't mean jack.
Exactly. 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 I mean, like one thing, momentum, boom, boom, boom. Oh my God, it's a different game. So yeah, yeah, but that's pretty much it. I'm just being very honest with you. Uh, yeah, I like our chances. If you're gonna ask me, I tell people the same thing. Don't ask me how I feel, coach. How you feel about the game? Don't ever ask me nothing. I think I'm gonna win every game I coach. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And I tell them all, there's only one team that scares me that's on our schedule. I mean, that's not on our schedule. It's us.
yeah.
We're the only team that scares, because if you don't execute, okay, this is scary. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna do very well if you don't do what you're supposed to do.
Hmm.
You gotta take care of business. Okay? So that's pretty much it, man. That's pretty
Well,
much it.
Coach Knight, first off, pleasure to meet you, and nothing but the best of luck to you guys tomorrow night. I'm looking forward to covering it. I'm honored to be a part of it, and thank you for all your insight and your time. I can't wait to not only just promote the rivalry, but tell some stories while we're at it as well.
Good, good. And look, good luck to you. It's gonna be your first. Good luck to you. Because I've done this before. I've been in this rodeo before. So good luck to you. I'm sure you're gonna do well. You sound like you know what you're doing, man. So good luck to you, young man. You're gonna be fine.
Thank you, Coach Knight. I appreciate the kind words, and best of luck to you tomorrow night. Looking forward
Thank,
to it.
thank, thank you, brother. Talk to you later.
Bye.